Hey guys, what is up? This is Cody, or xCodeh. How's it going today? Hope everybody watching this video is having yourself a snazzy day. Let me know in the comments down below where you're watching the video from. I would love to know, inside or outside of the United States. Today's video is part 2 of the crazy story that I recently uploaded, robbed at gunpoint. And now just when you thought it couldn't get any crazier, it does. So wrapping up the previous life story about when I got robbed at gunpoint, right after it happened, I had called one friend, told one person, the only friend that I could really talk to about this kind of stuff. And when I was on the phone with him, explaining to him that I had just gotten robbed, all my weed was gone, they didn't give me any money, basically I'd held a gun at my head. As I said this, I could hear him relay the information to everybody around him. And he was chilling with the squad of kids that were like the gossip kings, the gossip squad of the entire high school. And I could hear them laughing as I was relaying this information. So it was like, I didn't think anything of it at the time because of how much adrenaline, fight or flight, I was freaking the fuck out. I didn't think anything of it at the time, but it definitely matters in this story. So I go home, super sad, probably play some Call of Duty Ghosts, sober. I mean, that in itself is just depressing. The next day rolls around and I go to school. And before school, every single day, I'd get off the bus, immediately leave school to go and smoke a cigarette, maybe smoke a bowl if somebody has it over there. So I went over to the across the street spot. By the way, check out the video up there. I went to this across the street spot in a vlog and I showed it where a lot of these kind of stories happened. I went over to the across the street spot, was smoking a cigarette, chilling, and immediately when I got to the stump spot, like the spot where everybody would smoke cigs, this girl came over to me and immediately like, "Hey Cody, how's it going? I'm so sorry to hear what happened to you," gave me a hug. The fuck is going on here? Talking about how, "Oh, I'm so sorry to hear what happened to you. I can't believe you got robbed." And I'm like, "How the fuck do you know about this?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, this dude told me." And it was one of the dudes that my friend was chilling with. I'm like, oh no. As soon as she said the name of the guy who she heard it from, I knew that the entire school knew. Absolutely everybody, even teachers at this point, she would have heard it. Like, this was, you tell this guy anything. He really deserves his own social media platform because like, it's like everybody had notifications on to whatever the fuck he was talking about. Everybody knew. By the way, follow me on Twitter with notifications. So after my cigarette, I walked to class and immediately when I walked in, everybody that was in my classroom was like, "Oh shit, there he is," asking me all sorts of questions. And I'm sitting there like, I don't want to talk about this. It was embarrassing as hell. I got fucking robbed, bro. I don't want anybody to know about this. Like, shit. So the day goes by. It's getting towards the end of the day, and we're just chilling in class. I think it was like, I remember this. I was really fucking scared because at this point in time, when I'd go to high school, I had this little hole in the back of this hoodie that I'd wear every single day. It was like this rip in the back of the hoodie. I have it in my closet. I really should just get it, huh? Okay, actually a little depressed. I think I threw it away or donated it. Either way, I had a hole in the back of this hoodie, and I would go to school every single day with like 1/8 of weed bagged out in grams to flip at school. Don't do that. All right. And today was a different day entirely. It wasn't just the weed. I was planning on going to my friend's house after school, but we didn't have any glass at the time. Keep in mind, I was about 15, 16 years old at the time, maybe even 14 years old. I was super, super young. So I had a bowl that I had smoked the bowl out of probably last night or even that morning. Like, it was like, you have a bowl in your pocket and if it's fresh, it doesn't smell like anything. If you had smoked weed out of it, it does smell pretty bad. But if you had just recently smoked a bowl out of it, it's reeking so bad. It is literally like you got a fucking pocket skunk. The smell is erupting into every little bit of the room that you're in. It is like, there's no hiding it. Zero hiding it. I had 1/8 of bud and a bowl, a smelly bowl, the advanced smelly bowl, into this secret hoodie pocket. I'm chilling in social studies class, and a fucking police officer, the school resource officer, comes to the door, knocks on it, opens it a little crack, and he's like, "Hey, I need to speak to Cody." And I'm sitting there, bugging out, freaking out. The shiver just fills my body. The boots, they're shaking. I am just freaking out. Like I already knew that I had smelled so bad. Like, I was reeking the entire classroom up at that point. I usually did. When I'd go in there with the weed, dude, the teachers used to spray me down in Febreze. It was fucking hilarious. But I got up and I'm like, oh, okay. I walk up to the door, and as soon as I walk out, he closes it behind me and he's just like, "Cody, I know what happened to you last night." And I'm sitting there like, "Oh, okay. Oh, what's up? Okay, what's up?" He's like, come into this other room. I need to ask you some questions. Sitting there freaking out, dude. It's like, oh shit, is he gonna smell the weed? Holy fuck, am I about to get arrested right now? Felt completely out of control in this scenario. It was just terrible. He walks me down the hallway, and there's this room like right across the way from like the school IT room where all the computers are and the servers for the internet and all that cool stuff. It's not that cool actually, but maybe to some of you guys. So he sits me down at this table. I think it was maybe a table that teachers would use for meetings or something like that. And I'm sitting across the table from him, and he's just like, all right, so Cody, I know what happened to you last night, and I need to know more about it. And I'm like, I don't really want to talk about it, man. Like, you know, if you know what happened, like, that's what happened. And he's just like, well, I know that these two people came and robbed you with a gun. Like, there's a gun involved. This is very serious. I need to know more about this. And I'm like, you know, it is what it is. And he was just explained that, like, he pretty much knew everything, like the entire situation. I went up there to give them some weed. They robbed me at gunpoint. And like, he was really, really focused on the fact that there was a gun, that he needed to know more. And he already knew the names of the people that were there and like where it happened. And I'm sitting there just like, well, that's pretty much it. Like, that's it. Like, I have nothing else to say. Like, that's, you got everything. Like, you heard right. Like, I didn't like give him any additional information or anything. It's just like, bro, like, Detective 101, you did it. There you go, bro. So he was pretty mad at the fact that I wouldn't give him any information. Like, he seemed pretty steamed, pretty not happy, not very snazzy day with me. And he's just like, all right, well, we're going to have to talk about it later. Head back to class. And as I'm walking out of the class, like as I'm like leaving the doorway and he's like walking the other way, he turns around and he's like, hey, Cody, just by the way, I want to let you know that I know why you were there. And we're going to have to talk about that at a later time. And I'm like, I don't know what you mean, but okay. I pulled that off. Like that reaction, I was just like, for whatever reason with this specific police officer, I could like pull shit off like that. Like I had the ability to like slightly lie with this police officer. And I was like, oh, all right, okay. I have absolutely no idea how he didn't smell the weed. Like I was probably sitting 3-4 feet away from him. I had an eighth of bud in a bowl in my fucking hoodie pocket. The planets must have been aligned, truly. I really, really, in my heart, believe that he smelt it, absolutely knew exactly the scenario, that absolutely knew what I was doing, what I had on me, and he just let me go because he didn't want to deal with it. He didn't even give me what does that smell? Like, he didn't give me any of that. Like, I really think it was either one of two things. He didn't smell it, or he just didn't care. So, I don't know what police officer wouldn't care about that, because it was bad. Like, it smelled fucking bad. So the rest of the day was normal. And after school that day, I went to the homie's house that I would always chill at. Like, it was like the default, like where I'm going to go after school to smoke weed and chill. And I'm sitting there chilling, smoking, probably an hour after school, right before the late bus. I would go there, chill and smoke weed until about 4 o'clock where the late bus comes, and then get a ride home. I would use the school buses as a taxi service every day. It was phenomenal. Okay. You got to take advantage of that while you have it in high school. They catch on to it eventually, but you can get away with it for a while. That's a pro tip if I ever fucking had one right there. Your parents pay those taxes. You got to take advantage of the perks of going to high school, okay? That's definitely one of them. So about an hour after school, I'm chilling, smoking. We're petting their dogs. Dude, I love petting their... I fucking miss that shit. Chilling, skipping class, smoking, and petting their dogs, man. I'll always remember that. That's like a pivotal memory in high school, dude. The high school days of just chilling, smoking, petting their dogs. I'm chilling there, baked as a potato at 450 degrees. I get a random phone call. I look at my phone and it's like completely blocked out number, and I answer it, not thinking anything of it. And it's that police officer that interrogated me, that asked me questions over and over again at school that day. And he's like, Cody, we're gonna need you to write a statement about these two. And I'm sitting there like, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna. You know, I don't really want to do that. You know, I don't really want these guys to go to jail. Like, it's whatever. And he's like, no, you're going to need to write a statement. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think I got to. Like, I don't think I'm required to by law. Like, I don't think I need to do that. And he's just like, Cody, you're going to have to meet me at the high school right now. And I'm just like, yeah, hung up the phone. This dude blowing me up, 3-4 calls. I finally pick it up. Like, he's blowing me up on, like, the number changes too. Like, the first time it was restricted. The second time it was like a 3 or 4 digit number. Never seen that in my lifetime. I finally picked up the phone after he blew me up like 4 times, and he just kept saying, Cody, you need to write a statement so we can get these guys. And I'm like, yo, you need to stop calling me right now because I'm not going to write a statement. And I hung up the phone. I literally started to get mad at him because he was ruining my high. I'm sitting there chilling, high as fuck, and this police officer's blowing up my phone. I'm like, what? It's not a vibe, okay? So he finally stopped calling. I went home. Everything was fine. I actually don't remember if my dad figured it out like that night. I don't know if it was until the next day or what happened. I don't even remember if my dad even knew about this. I'm gonna have to follow up with you guys and ask him later tonight. I'm not gonna call him in the middle of his workday and ask him if he remembers the time that I got robbed at gunpoint, but I'll let you guys know. I really don't remember my dad's reaction to this. So much shit happened. This was definitely one of the craziest, but I don't really even remember if my dad figured this out until way afterwards. Because the next day, I remember I was chilling at my homie's house smoking, and my dad actually picked me up from school this day. And we were driving away from the high school right past a gas station, and I remember seeing a squad of undercover cars. Like, I had never seen these cars in my town before. It was like 4 or 5 police officers, and then literally 5 undercover cars, like unmarked, grayed out, like looked like police cars, but they were unmarked and everything. Crazy. It was like a fucking FBI raid or something. And then I saw the 2 people that robbed me in handcuffs on the back of the cop car. I'm sitting there like, yo, what the fuck, dude? Like, obviously, I wasn't like super angry because, like, yeah, they robbed me and everything. But, like, dude, I was like really confused. Like, why were they getting arrested? Like, dog, they took my weed, like, whatever. But I didn't tell the cop anything. Like, I didn't make a statement or anything. And these guys are getting arrested. I'm sitting there like, geez, bro. Because they kind of were my friends before this scenario. Obviously, I wouldn't call them friends after what happened, but like, I don't know. I was like, shit, that fucking sucks. So the next day, the police officer comes to talk to me at school again, dude, again. This day, I didn't bring any weed to school. I was fucking terrified of that. I'm glad I did it, okay? I'm glad I fucking did it because he came and talked to me again. He brings me into the room, he sits me down, and he's like, well, all right, guys, I want to let you guys know that you can get xCodeh merch at xCodeh.com/shop. Check the link in the description for more information. He sits me down and he explains to me how the 2 got arrested for, I think it was like attempted burglary or risk of injury to a minor, some bullshit like that. They were held in jail for over the weekend, and they were released. And I think they ended up getting probation. I don't think they ended up going to jail. Like, most of the charges got dropped because I didn't make a statement. So he explained to me that, you know, they were arrested. I didn't find out any of what I just said until a little bit later, but he just explained to me how they got arrested, and he showed me a picture of the gun that they found in the car. Like, as I was driving by them, they pulled the car over and they still had the gun in the car. Like, how do you do something like that and then just leave that in the car? Like, throw it away. I mean, I'm not telling you how to destroy evidence here, okay? Listen. It's just like, how are you that dumb? All right? Jeez. I think they even still had the weed in the car, too. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. He showed me a picture of the gun, and it turned out to be a fake gun. All right? I'm sorry to bamboozle you, clickbait, on the first video, but listen to me. Listen. I will say one thing. This wasn't a fucking Nerf gun. It didn't have an orange tip on it. It looked really fucking real. And it was at nighttime when I was robbed, okay? I mentioned previously in the previous story that they'd waited until like 7:30, 8 o'clock at night when it was like almost pitch dark outside. Could barely see anything. And like, in any scenario, you got a gun pointed at your head, you should just give up whatever you're doing. Like, it's not worth your life, no matter what it is. Like, it was literally $20 worth of mids. I wasn't about to fucking be like, yeah, fucking shoot me, bitch. Do it. Like, not that much of a jabroni. So the gun turned out to be a bamboozle, a jabate, a fake. But that shit looked real. It wasn't like a fucking Nerf gun, man. Even the cop agreed. He's like, you were really smart to get out of the car. Like, I'm like, great. This is real productive. Thanks for letting me know. I appreciate it, I guess. And he didn't bring up we're going to have to talk about that later while you were there. He didn't bring it up in the entire time when I was in there that day. I was freaking out because I knew it was coming. I was like, oh shit, here it is. I'm going to have to go to court, get on probation or something, get arrested. He just didn't mention it. I don't think they had enough evidence to prove that I was there to really sell weed. Like, maybe they even didn't say that. Maybe because I didn't make a statement, they're like, all right, we're not going to fuck him over either. We're going to say, oh, we were just hanging out and we stole this weed. Hey, you never know, dude. You never know. Moral of the story, don't get robbed. It's as easy as that, huh? Just don't get robbed. real bottom line of the story. Be careful who you trust, man, because even your closest friends can turn into your biggest enemies. Just like that. That was the time that I got robbed at gunpoint, and the entire school blew the situation out of proportion. Got interrogated by a police officer with an eighth and a bowl in my pocket. Got away with that, which was just the craziest, probably the craziest part of the entire video. Like that, I couldn't believe that. That was just top notch. Absolutely snazzy day. Refusing to make a statement, and the people still got arrested. How does that work? You know, how does that work? I feel like if I did make a statement, they would have actually gone to jail for a little bit. But even though I got robbed and weed taken from me, I'm still glad they didn't get arrested. Like, I'm still glad they didn't go to like actual jail, because fuck that. All right. What do you guys think? Put it in the comments down below. You think they deserve to go to jail? You think I should have made a statement? I'm not Tekashi 6ix9ine out here. All right. I'm not about to rat. All right. I don't. You know. I'm gonna take my L. And that's that. I'm already a little disappointed of my previous self for even saying anything. I should have just been like, nah, I don't know anything. But I'm not about to lie and say like, oh yeah, dude, I was some fucking cool ass motherfucking 14-year-old. Nah, I don't know nothing. I'm gonna tell the story how it is. Leave a like on the video if you guys enjoyed. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new. Turn notifications on to never miss a video. And follow my cat on Instagram. It's very important. It's right on the screen. You can't miss it. I want to say a huge thank you to everybody who's been supporting me on Patreon. I'll put a list of the names on screen right now. For $1 or $2 a month, you can support the channel and get access to the secret unlisted videos that I've been making over on Patreon. Been having a lot of fun making those videos, and I want to say a huge thank you to everybody pledging support. There'll be a link in the description for more information. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I appreciate you spending the time out of your day to watch it. Stay high, stay lifted, and stay snazzy. Peace.